What's good, y'all? I wanted to give you guys a little bit of the backstory of my recent song and video I just dropped called Most High Dose.
Promise before I go, I'ma leave you with this most high dose.
It had an interesting journey in coming to being, finding its way out into getting a video created for it, and just its timeline. I wanted to share that because I think a lot of people can relate to, making art, making music, making songs, and then how do they find their way out? How do they, have their last, say, birthing process where they actually cross out to be in the public eye, to be experienced and live its own life digitally onwards. So this song that I wrote is a pretty deep, reflective song. I'm really writing about my own journey and struggle with coming to terms with having a deeper calling towards art, to taking this craft way more seriously, and having a really honest check-in about, that I wasn't having the actions and the follow-through and kind of day-to-day experience. I wasn't in that zone of what I felt like I should be or could be to really see the fruits of what I wanted to produce.
I could see the steps ahead, but my feet, they were paralyzed. Cause what comes with that torch is the ability to fail. And I don't think that I could handle that. My ego frail as sandalbags. Damaged facts was familiar, but I could handle that.
I felt so far out of that. So that discord that I was feeling was really what I was writing about. And then eventually, crossing over that threshold and kind of coming to terms with myself and having to become sober.
And blunted ashes and image.
And let go of a number of things, addictions, patterns, other things in my past to really step in a place that was going to allow me to thrive and at least give my best shot, because I wasn't able to do that previously.
I was good at living vicariously through rappers that did it.
And so it was like a deep dive to vulnerably share more of that. And really that song, it was the beat that evoked that story. I heard the beat, I wasn't thinking about what exactly the song would be about, but the ominous, kind of somber feeling of the beat itself brought that out of me. I was like, wow, where is this bringing me inside myself? And so I wrote that song. It just came right through, with the end line being,
promise before I go, I'ma leave you with this most high dose.
Just kind of that check-in that regardless of whatever is my internal struggle, what is my commitment is that I want to leave you, anyone who I have the opportunity to share my music with and message with something powerful that's on the level of a most high dose. Take that as you will. So that song came about probably about 2 years ago, and it just sat in my list of songs that were completed. I got it mixed, I got it mastered, and I listened to it pretty regularly, kind of as the moment would call and as I'm just kind of scanning through tracks of things I have on cue. But I just never really felt inspired to share it or put it out. It's a thing to get behind a song and be like, this is the one, this is the time for this, I want to put it out there. But that intersection of timeline of go time for this particular song happened when the recent fires from the CZU lightning complex that was happening in the greater area of Santa Cruz were happening, and there was a very particular ominous day where the fires and smoke were hovering above the fog level. So the air was actually clear, where we were walking around by the ocean and where I live, but above that was the marine fog layer, and then above that was all the fires, or the smoke from the fires, which was creating this incredible red hue. And it felt like we were on Mars for a day. It felt like we were seriously on another planet. And I was planning to meet up with my homie and videographer who's been producing most of my videos recently, Daniel Lesser, and he hit me up. He's like, bro, do you see this crazy sky? He's like, we gotta go do something. He's like, I'm gonna grab my camera, let's go link, let's capture something. I think he was thinking more along the lines of some photos or something. So yeah, it's definitely the apocalypse. Let's see what's going on here. So what else to do but go shoot a music video? And I was like, maybe we do a video? I'm like, maybe capture something. He's like, sure, whatever, let's link. We got a couple hours of daylight left to capture this.
It's like an entire day of solar eclipse.
Fuck. And so I just get in my car right away. I'm like, yeah, let's go do this. And we're gonna go down by the beach or somewhere to go link up. And I started scanning through songs that I had completed, and one of them was this song, at Most High Dose, which the feeling of seeing the sky, driving down to meet up to do something creative, capture something with Daniel, it was just like the perfect match. I scanned through a number of high vibe, hyphy type tunes, all kinds of different energies and mixes. It was just like, no, that's not it. But when that song, like that opening sound hit, it feels like instantly introspective. And looking up at the sky and then the message of what that was, it felt like the world was amidst an apocalypse. It felt crazy outside. It felt so reflective as to the nature of what was going on with our immediate community and then the world at large. So anyway, it was the perfect fit, and so I was like, wow, this is the song for today. So went down there, I'm like, hey, check the song out. He's like, yeah, that's the vibe right now. So we went to the ocean. Okay, once again, gonna carry this way the funk over there. Thank God for one wheels. And captured all the footage in about an hour and a half. Doing our things, we have a pretty good rapport in terms of catching B-roll. Main footage, how that's gonna weave together. So we just took our shots and got them, and then I think it was the next day, within 2 days, we had it edited and it was done. And it was like, this song's the right time to get out there. So that's the story behind it. It's kind of I thought it was a cool story of something that might have just been shelved forever, maybe heard by only a couple people at any time, and it found its way. It was the environment, it was the causes, and due in part to the listening of like, what's the creative call. And maybe that's something I can interject here of, for you guys to take home too, is despite what you think may be like the next move or step, following like the passion of the creative call, there's always some kind of magic in there. Because what I've gotten to see on the other end is some of the comments that have come back since releasing this video have been some of the most powerful and impactful for me to receive as an artist. And I really appreciate that. That's what I hope to do, is to be able to connect. And not only that, like the song's saying, my one request to you is to simply let it in, like let in the message, let in the medicine of the music. And that I feel like a lot of people got to receive that. So that's the story of Most High Dose, how it came to be, how it was pretty much forgotten for a while. It's actually tough to listen to for a while because it is so, for me, deep and personal. It's not like, oh, I want to cruise and like bump to this song. It's kind of like every time I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, that chapter of life.
Metaphorical foot on my neck, facing the dirt, I needed to taste it, it hurt.
That I happen to really capture and put into words.
Just that raw, uncut, flawed, and fucked up southpawed when luck's up, walled and unloved, alone, no +1. And
so I hope that this message finds you in a good way.
In 1 mile, turn right to merge onto I-80 West toward Sacramento.
Thank you. GPS guy. I'm gonna end it there. Most High Dose, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. That's the story behind it, and I really hope you find some connection and value in what's, this story and what's maybe most alive for you right now and calling you forth on the maybe unexpected, creative, inspirational path. Peace to it.